to the Gloomhaven Digital Chat stream on Twitch. We're going to be looking at the Gloomhaven digital game released on Steam about a week and a half ago, I want to say. It doesn't have all the features of the main board game yet, however it does follow very closely to the board game. So I think anybody who's interested in the board game should be a fan of this game as soon as it launches. I know I'm already a fan of it. I've only played 5 to 10 hours so far, but I think everybody will like it. Just trying to get a few other things here set up, and then we'll be ready to go. I did put a slight spoiler tag on the stream, just to let everybody know there might be a few spoilers here and there, due to the fact that the adventure mode that's available now is a, I want to say, roguelike experience. That's what most people have been calling it. And since it is a roguelike experience, there are a few things that may not quite work right. Trying to make sure everything's set up here, so bear with me one moment before we get started. All right. I think we're all good to go now. So I am streaming from my basement today, but that's why you can see the wall of stuff behind me. Don't pay too much attention to that. My name is Bobby. I'm with Day After Day Gaming. We're streaming today, I should say, from Central Virginia. Nice sunny Sunday morning so far. Hopefully it'll stay that way. But anyway, to reiterate, today we're going to be doing some Gloomhaven Digital. You should be able to see the menu system up right now. We'll kind of go over some of the features they have, what they don't have. Again, I did put a slight spoiler tag on this today. There may be some spoilers for people who are playing the board game. I'll explain that when we get a little further in. But let's just kind of go over what they're planning on including in the Gloomhaven digital game. So the locked items first. Let's go over that first. First one we have is tutorial. Tutorial is pretty self-explanatory. I'm assuming, at least, they're going to make some sort of tutorial to teach you how to play the game, the ins and outs, such like that. Campaign mode, I am waiting for that one. That's the big thing that I think most people are waiting for. The full, hopefully the full board game experience in the campaign. I'm guessing that button's probably going to be for doing a single-player campaign. I can't say 100% because, of course, we don't have it yet. Then multiplayer. This is the other one I'm really excited about. I have several friends who play Gloomhaven with me, and it's hard nowadays to get everybody together into one room to play. Let's be honest. It happens. Other than that, we have, hopefully the multiplayer will include the campaign. It may also include the adventure mode. We'll see when that releases. Then we have another important one that I think people are excited about is modding. Not sure exactly what they're going to let us do. My guess at this point would be we're going to be able to make new character types. Maybe make some cards. Maybe make some other adventures. We'll see. That should be a lot of fun. Now, for what we do have. We have the adventure mode, the how to play section. So adventure mode here, how to play, options, and exit. Well, I think exit everybody should know by now. Click it, you're gone. Vamoose, get out of here. You're done playing the game. Let's go on and do options first, just to show you kind of what we have currently set up, available to us. So, of course, you have resolution. You do have display mode, windowed, full screen, borderless. A VSync option, on or off. Under audio, we have volume controls. Under controls, we have a couple different camera controls. This is a 3D heavy game, so using the Q and E buttons, you can turn the map. I believe the middle mouse button, at least on my mouse, also allowed me to kind of twist the camera left to right. You also have move up, left, right, down, so that'll help you move through the map a little bit. I believe right-clicking and dragging may have done that on the mouse. Not 100% sure on that one. Targeting controls. Now, these actually had not used yet, so I'm glad I came in here and looked just to figure out what was in here. We have the period button as well as the comma button. You can rotate the targeting controls left and right. For any of those attacks that might have multiple units struck, you should be able to change the orientation of what exactly is getting attacked. So that should be useful in the game. You also have highlight interactables with the tab button. I would definitely recommend using this every now and then. This should show you the doors in the map. I believe traps and any obstacles should appear with a tab button as well. Very useful for making sure you don't miss any rooms or things on the ground that you may not see the first time you're walking through, but we'll look at that a little bit more. Also, the left Alt key will display all the cards that you have currently in use for your character. I don't tend to use this all that often. There's a menu on the left showing you all your active cards or available cards, so you should just be able to use that, but if you want to see what cards you actually have available to you, right there it is. Let's go back. For anybody new to Gloomhaven, so if you've never played the board game in your life, jumping right into Adventure will probably be a mistake. Only because the game itself, the Adventure mode, doesn't really explain the game, doesn't explain how to play the game. It may give you the brief thing like, oh, choose the top of this card and bottom of this card, but you may not quite understand what they want. So under how to play, they do kind of go over the Adventure mode. You know, what goes on in the rounds, kind of the phase of first step, second step, third step, fourth step. You also have the cards. It does give you a little bit of information on the cards, shows you some pictures on the side. So it should be pretty useful for anybody who doesn't really know how to play. So you have the selecting cards, showing you the cards. You have the initiative, explaining what the initiative means, where it's selected on the layout. The overall card layout, showing all the different options, 1, 2, 3, and 4. How to use abilities. This one was a little bit tricky for me the first time because not necessarily the ability portion of it, but you do have the extra bonus, the ability to move, the attack, and the move that you can use. You really do have to click on them to make sure you use them, though. I made a mistake a few times when I was playing of not actually clicking it properly and ended up burning cards I didn't want to burn yet. Then they do explain the burned cards versus permanently burned. I do like their new little view here where it's like a card that's been bursting into flames. Yeah, you're not going to be able to use that if it catches fire and goes away. They do talk about resting and recovering, short rest and long rest. I'll go into these a little bit more detail as well for those who don't play or haven't played much, but there is an explanation of how they work if you want to know. There's also active bonuses. This can be important as well. You have the round bonus, which is a circle. That's how I think of the round bonus. Oh, it's a circle, so it's round. It lasts until the end of the round. Then you have a persistent bonus, which essentially is like an infinity symbol. It's persistent until it's been destroyed or completes the action. So it's not really infinity, but it does help when you need to know. You also have abilities of move. You have movement types, obstacles, and traps. We have ability attacks. You have melee and range attacks, the difference between the two. Attack modifiers, advantage and disadvantage. We'll show you a little more when we get into the game. There's some things I wish they'd bring more to the front. It's not really as in your face as it could be, so I think that's a missed opportunity on their part. You have area effects. You have multiple targets, healing, shielding, retaliation, or retaliate, looting, and summoning. Again, I'll go over all these in a little more detail as we get further in. Then you have the monster turns. This is the information of how they act. Effects and conditions. I have seen several of these not quite work right. I know there was a patch release not too long ago. I don't know if all the effects have been fixed yet. Some of the pushes and pull options didn't quite work as I normally intend them to work. So that was a bit frustrating one time playing, and I was like, I'm going to pull this boss pull this enemy into this trap, and the pull didn't quite work right and didn't pull him where I wanted to, or didn't push him the correct way. But they're still working on that, so hopefully we'll get some of these things fixed as we go. Then we go through some negative conditions here, 6 different negative conditions, and some positive conditions, as well as bless and curse. That's positive and negative. Bless is great if you get it, curse is bad if you get it. But for enemies, opposite, bless is bad if enemies get it, curse is great if enemies get it, so we'll see as they go. They do explain the different elements, the 6 different elements, fire, ice, air, earth, light, dark, and any. They do also explain infusing, strong, and waning a little bit. But again, I'll try to go over all these in detail as well as we play. items are the same as the board game in terms of number you can have. You can have one head, one body, one legs, one two-handed weapon, or two one-handed items or weapons. And then small items are, I believe it's half your character level rounded up. So normally every odd level, you get an extra small item. So level 1 and 2 is one item, level 3 and 4 is two items, then 5 and 6 is 3 items, and so forth, all the way up to 9, which theoretically is still the max, which would give you 5 items. It also explains how to use the items. Some are tap items that you get back when you do a long rest, or discarded items mean they're consumed and burned, and you may not be able to get them back unless there's an item or card that allows you to get the item back. Durability. So this is new to Gloomhaven. Hopefully it's just going to be in the adventure mode, because if this was in the normal campaign mode, I'm sure a lot of people would be upset. But essentially, whenever you finish, I want to say like a scenario in the game, all your items lose one durability that currently have durability. Some characters seem to start with items that are infinite durability, so that's really nice. But for those that don't have it, we'll see what happens. Oh, I have somebody in chat. Welcome, Dub J. What's up? Uh-oh. Extremely high-pitched noise. That's not good. Let me see if we can fix some of that problem here. Bear with me one moment here. Alright, sorry about that. People in chat, is that any better? Hopefully that's better. We'll keep going. If not, just let me know in chat, and we will go from there. Alright. So, getting back here. They do talk about experience as well. So you get experience for using some cards, and also at the end of the scenario that you're in, you also get a little bit of experience. Leveling up is also listed on there. How to level, when you level, such and so forth. You also have damage and exhaustion. Taking damage and exhaustion is basically when you lose all your cards or when you die. Alright. Haven't seen a note yet in chat. Hopefully they can hear better now. We don't have the squealing noise. Not sure what it is. I don't have anything else external hooked up that I know of. So there shouldn't be anything weird going on, but let me know, please, if there is still a bad time in chat. Awesome. I see somebody saying it got fixed. Thanks for that. This is the first time streaming a game off the computer, so I'm sure I had some setting wrong. We'll get there eventually, don't worry. First stream, first time problems, right? Alright, so now let's delve a little bit into the adventure mode. So you probably can't see the bottom right hand corner of the screen actually has a change party button. It's covered up on my face. Sorry, but I will click on it just to kind of show you what it has available. So right now, there are 4 different classes available for everybody to play with. There are 6 starting classes in the board game, for those who don't know. Right now, you basically have the first 4 starting characters are going to be the Cragheart. See if I might be able to show some of these off. We have the Brute. We'll start with Brute. That's the easiest group to play, is Doom Crushers. You have the Brute, and you have the Cragheart. So the Brute's kind of like a tanky melee character. They have lots of retaliate abilities, shield abilities, things like that. They can do decent damage. They have several different AoE attacks that can be helpful in battle. Cragheart, they have some healing abilities. They can be kind of tanky. I know they have some shield stuff. They have several support abilities. They can also destroy obstacles, make new obstacles, do a lot of all-around things. Then your other two characters, I should go find, here we go, Poison Flame. So your other two available characters right now are the Spellweaver and the Scoundrel. Now, I won't be playing with these two because I want to do more of an intro for you guys. But as you can see, I did get my Spellweaver up to level 4 and my Scoundrel up to level 4. So I have played these two the most. If somebody wants to see them, post up in chat. I'll show you kind of some of the stuff they can do later. I think right now we'll probably choose a couple other characters to play with, just for starting. This is one of the hardest groups to play, especially the Spellweaver. Just the way they lose cards and things, they tend to die very easily. So be careful with that. But we'll go over them a little more in detail. But the Spellweaver is a spellcaster, right? Spellweaver. They primarily use fire, ice style spells to do things in the environment to get bonuses with. They can burn almost any element at any time to get enhancements. So they're really good at doing direct damage and really good at using those magic that gets cast into the air. Scoundrel, they are, by the way, a long-range, primarily long-range character. Not very many abilities I can even think of, maybe one or two off the starting group that are only melee range. Of course, you can always use your regular melee attack to attack with, but come on, they're long-range. That's the whole point of them. They're great. They're fun. Do keep in mind the Spellweaver also burns almost every ability that they use, which does make it a little bit more difficult to use the character as things get destroyed as they play. The Scoundrel, they tend to be a melee character. They have a couple ranged abilities. They do have some invisible abilities as well. They tend to do a lot of stuff with poison and wound later on. But hopefully they're fun to play. I mean, hopefully you get used to their style. They are a little bit different than most. But overall, I like them. My wife actually plays the Scoundrel in our Gloomhaven board game, and she had a really bad choice of cards to retire with, so she's still playing her character. I've retired 4 at this point, so I've been through 4 or 5 different classes in the board game of Gloomhaven. She's still on her starting Scoundrel. It is level 9 now, so at least she is very powerful with her Scoundrel, but yeah, she complains all the time about not retiring her character yet, so hopefully she will soon. We're still working on it. Oh, not continuing with that group. Alright, so I think today, let's try to find a group here that'll work. We'll do this group here. As you can see as well, when you actually play with characters, if you've played with them before, you'll see there's some experience up here in the corner on both sides. So every character team is considered a separate entity. So even though I've leveled up, like on Poison Flame, I have these two characters level 4. If I go and look at the Scoundrel on like Swift Scars, she has absolutely no experience, no level. So you have to play each adventure by itself. You don't get to intermingle the characters or level up in one group and then bring them back over to another group. It's just not the way it works. It would be nice if it was like that, but unfortunately it's not. One other thing I do want to point out, I have not done yet. For those who are curious, there were options up here that you can see to change from 2 heroes. There are options for 3 heroes, the same 4 characters right now, and an option to play all 4 of the heroes in a campaign in the adventure mode. The problem is you have to actually beat the adventure mode all the way through with a party 4 times, and then once you take that back, they reduced it down to 1. It was 4, but apparently once you unlock 1 boss and finish the adventure mode with 2 characters, you can choose one of the 3 characters. So I don't know if you need to do that all 4 times, or if on 1 defeat you unlock all 4. I haven't done it yet. I'm still working on it, so we will see. And then for this one, so it looks like, okay, now you only need 2 bosses to unlock the 4-hero party. So that's actually must have been patched out. In the original release, it was 4 and 8. And I'll tell you, it takes forever to get anywhere in the game. So, but for today, I want to do this group, the Swift Scars, actually. That wasn't the group I wanted to do, sorry. I was going to do Venomstone. Yeah, Venomstone. Kind of show off the Scoundrel. That's a fairly popular character. The Cragheart, I've seen less people play them. I see more people play the Brute and Spellweaver. So I thought this team might be good to kind of start with for today. And we want to continue and kind of show you how the adventure game works. Now, as I did put on the tag, there are some slight spoilers in this game. The reason I say that is 1, you can see the cards that are listed here. In the board game, they have levels on the cards, kind of right up near the top of the name. There's like a number right up here that tells you a level. So you have first level cards and X level cards available to you at the beginning of the board game. And then as you level up, you can pick one card from like level 2, level 3, level 4, so on and so forth. This is a little bit different. They do intermingle some level 1 cards, X cards, 2 cards, 3 cards, so on and so forth, in the mix of the starting cards for the character. As you level, you actually have 3 cards to choose from. It seems like they're varying levels as well, to add to your deck, but you can still only have like 11 cards for the Crag Heart. So if you once you get to level 2, you'll get another card you can add. You can pick one of 3. You can add it in, but then you have to remove one of your current 11 cards. Same thing with the Scoundrel, excuse me. Oh, can't enunciate this morning. Didn't have my coffee yet. But the ability cards for the Scoundrel are 9 of 9 equipped. And again, you might see some things from like level 2 or 3, potentially, that she might have that normally you wouldn't have in the board game yet. The other reason I put spoilers on there, I don't think I have one here to worry about right now. There are some items in the game that you can get in the adventure mode, which come up much, much later in the campaign of the board game. So you may see some items you don't recognize. Let's see if there are any here. We have a Blinking Cape, Wand of Frost, Wand of Tremor. Some of those aren't available right away when you start the game. Some you have to unlock through random item scenario card draws in the campaign. So I apologize if you see items you haven't seen before. It's just the nature of the game, of how they did adventure. So, let's get started. You always have 3 paths you can take, at least from what I've seen. You have kind of the easy one, you have like a medium difficulty one, you have a hard difficulty one. I have done all 3, and I will say the hard is definitely tough. They increase the monster levels, it seems like. It makes everything much, much harder to fight. If you're a first-time player, I would not recommend doing the red path, just because it's a little crazy. I generally like to pick based on what rewards you get on the path. And you can also look at this amount of gold you get and the experience. There's also a run length. It'll tell you how long the adventure is going to be. So if you only have a limited amount of time to play, I would also say pick from something that has less scenarios. So for this one, I'll just do easy just so we can get in the game and kind of show everybody how it works. Okay. So to start a journey, you just left click. And then we're going to hit yes to start. All right. So it starts you out at a campsite, which is this wayward town. Okay. I'll show you a little bit about this just so you can see how it works. I don't have any gold, starting gold, unfortunately. Wish I did. But you can go to towns and generally buy things. So at the starting town here, they do have a general store and a cured hide. So if you click on them, you will see they have stuff for sale. Unfortunately, red means I don't have any money. I'm broke. I'm poor. Money's hard to find in this game. The board game, much worse than the campaign. The campaign, I feel like I get more gold faster for some reason. But you do see there are quite a few items available for purchasing. Kind of starting items. And you can see this little option over here on the right is the durability. So that's how many scenarios they're going to last for. Not individual groups within like one adventure. So this one I picked was 2 scenarios. So once I finish both of those scenarios, like the end of this group is when the durability will reduce. And you can break them up in case you just need like a helmet or an armor. You can break them all out into the individual parts to see what they have. But let's exit that shop. We'll go look in Cured Hide. Not that, again, I don't have any money, though, so... But you can see they have wing shoes and boots of striding for sale here as well. Actually, wait. Yes, okay. I thought I was on the weapons for a moment, but apparently not, so... Alright. Oh, also, you do start with a couple items, at least one for each character. And if you look at these items, like the Eagle Eye Goggles for the Scoundrel, actually has an infinity symbol. I can't move my mouse, but there's an infinity symbol on the top right of the durability. So this item does last forever. It does not get destroyed at the end of the group of scenarios you play. The Crag Heart starts with a Warhammer, and it also does not lose durability. These items, if you take them off, they still have the infinite durability, so you can switch them to other characters if somebody else in your party can benefit from them instead of you. Or you find something else you like better for a character, feel free to switch them out. It won't hurt anything. Alright, so as we can see, this one had 2 different scenarios to play to get to the Burn Tavern. The first one's here, so we'll have another one around here somewhere, and then we'll finish it by getting to this location. There's a potential for events to occur on the way to the first kind of group, the first scenario. So in this case, you have Wayward. We're going to be traveling to the shooting gallery, and then you're going to hit travel to destination down the bottom right corner. You may not be able to see it. My face might be in the way again. All right. We did get an optional event to happen. These are, from what I've seen, inherently different from the board game. I haven't seen anything that's been exactly like the board game, and the outcomes, where they do feel like they're very Gloomhaven-ish, there are good ones and bad ones. So let's see what we're going to do in this one. Let's read it real quick, and then we'll continue. You come across an elderly wine merchant by the side of the road. One of the wheels on his cart has fallen off, and you see him struggling to put it back on. He doesn't seem to notice you as you approach, but it is clear he hasn't the strength to lift the cart to replace the wheel by himself. Alright. This is always a tough choice for me. In my Gloomhaven campaign, my friends and I tend to be good. We tend to be nice. So I'm, for this stream, unless somebody in stream wants to pitch in, feel free, tell me which one you'd like to see. If not, generally I offer to help just to see what happens. If you want me to rob them, let me know. I'll give everybody a minute here while I grab a little drink, and let me know what you want to do. Of course, somebody's already posted evil. Alright. So we're going to rob the wine merchant to see what happens. Everybody wants evil. Woo! Let's be evil. See, I knew that's the way Twitch was going to go. I figured I'd still ask just to make sure, but we're going to rob him, see what we get. Alright, the merchant cowers behind his cart as he sees you approach with weapons drawn. Please don't hurt me. I'll give you a little gold I have. You can take as much wine as you like. Just please leave me be. With trembling hands, he reaches down to his belt, removes a small pouch of coins, and tosses it towards you. You pick it up and pocket the gold before picking up a bottle of wine from the cart. Of course. So not only do we rob him, we also took his wine. Oh, what? The wine tastes foul. You spit it out almost immediately with nothing else of value to take from the merchant. You leave him to deal with the broken wheel by himself and continue down the road. That's what he gets for giving us foul wine, right? Man, can't get any good wine nowadays. It probably was supposed to be chilled. That might have improved the taste of it. We'll see. So, we gained 4 whole gold. See, that's not even enough gold to get from robbing the poor guy. Jeez, we should have taken the wine and sold that and gotten like 10 gold out of it. Would have made things better. Anyway, continuing on, we're at the shooting gallery. So, on the right side of the screen, you will see kind of a description of what we're going to have happen, or what characters we're going to find in the game, and what our objective is. This one, most of them that I've seen, by the way, are kill all enemies. I mean, in true Gloomhaven board game fashion, most of the scenarios are kill all enemies. So, this one is going to have bandit guards. I probably didn't go over the icons earlier, so we'll go over them a little bit now. This kind of teardrop icon is health, so they're going to have 5 hit points. The second icon here is the move icon, so they're going to have 2 movement. The third icon here is the attack. They have the base attack of 2, and over here there's range. So bandit guards tend to be only melee range. They may have a card that gets drawn that may give them range attack. I don't remember, but they do have 1 base attack here. Now the archers, they're going to be a little bit more problematic. They have 4 hit points, so 1 less than the guard. They still get a base movement of 2. They still do 2 damage. However, they attack at range of 3 base. So they're going to be the more important ones to take out first if we can. Alright, so we're going to see what we have here. The other thing I've noticed in the adventure mode, they don't have all the enemy types yet. So primarily you're fighting a lot of bandits and undead right now. So I'm hoping they're on the Steam page for Gloomhaven. If you look, there is a roadmap of what they want to do. And I believe in quarter 3 or quarter 4, they're going to add more enemy types and more dungeon types. That's the other problem right now. The dungeon tends to be kind of all tomb related. So see a lot of rocks and dead bodies and sarcophagi and such like that. I'm not saying it's bad. It's not bad. I think it still looks fairly good. But as you can see, I'm turning the map a little bit here just so everybody can kind of see the layout. The mouse wheel also allows you to zoom in and out a little bit, which is nice. But the doors, as I was saying earlier, the doors can be kind of hard to see. So if we hold down the tab button, at least it'll kind of show you where all the enemies are. Not terribly useful. And then we do have the Alt button as well, which will show you all the cards if you want to kind of lay out some plans ahead of time. You can do that. You can kind of see all the cards available to you for use right now. I don't think it shows you if they're burned or not. It may. When they get a little further, we'll double check that. But alright, to start the area. So first off, you'll have all the character kind of initiative groups at the top here. You don't see the initiatives on the enemies yet, because we have to pick our initiatives first. Oh, sorry, can't talk today. We have to pick our initiatives first, and then the enemies pick their initiative. So let's go through and figure out what we want to do. Right now, it looks like we have a guard here, guard there, guard there. 2 archers, of course, they're behind the guards and behind this vase. So we have no direct line of sight to be able to move to them without like a jump or something else. So we're going to still try to see if we have something that might be able to take them out from range. So first we're looking at the Cragheart. The Cragheart has several range attacks. They're not that great, however, there should be at least one that's AoE. Let's look here. So the Dirt Tornado will be an AoE. That one will attack for 1 damage, with a range of 2 though. But then it'll hit everybody around that square, but only for 1 damage. May not be that useful, but it will also muddle all allies and enemies in the targeted area. We'll think about that one. I think I want to use Massive Boulder, though. The Massive Boulder has attack range of 3, so I could actually hit... I could hit the guard right now, and then everybody else around him will automatically take 1 damage. Yeah, let's do that one. So we're going to choose Massive Boulder to start with. And let's go ahead and do this move too. So, the way Gloomhaven works, for those who don't know, is you pick 2 cards. You then pick which of the initiatives on the card you want to use, and then that tells you where you're going to go in terms of the round. So I picked the Rumbling Advance plus the Massive Boulder. Massive Boulder goes at 87 initiative. That's really slow. So to change, all I have to do is click on the circle where the 29 is, and that way I choose now to have a 29 initiative, as you can see at the top. So, to choose the Scoundrel's turn now, I can either click the Scoundrel here, or you can click the little radio button that they put right here next to the Cragheart above the name of the character on the left. So for her, I generally like to start with Throwing Knives. They do attack 2 with a range of 3 and target 2. So they're pretty good for attacking enemies when we need to. So we're going to see if we might be able to combine the Massive Boulder and the Throwing Knives to get rid of a couple of those archers. At least one, hopefully. As long as I don't miss with a terrible attack, which unfortunately does happen. So then let's do... Oh, the other thing I didn't explain. Sorry, I'm doing a bad job of this already. When you pick 2 cards, you always have to use the top of one card and then the bottom of the other. So you can't ever pull 2 cards and use like the top on both of them. That's just not how the game works. So you always have to play 2 cards, and you always have to play 1 top, 1 bottom. So in this one, because I want to try the Throwing Knives out, we're doing the top part of this card. So what I need to find is a good bottom part of the card to kind of help with getting me to where I need to be. So I think I'm going to do Special Mixture, which is going to be a move 3 and Poison to 1 enemy. But just double checking here, make sure I don't see anything else I want. Yeah, let's do that one. So for my initiative for the Scoundrel is going to be initiative of 10. Also, for everybody who wants to know, the initiatives for the Scoundrel tend to be the best I've seen in the game. They had 1 card later on in the game, slight spoiler, sorry, but they do have 1 card that is an initiative of 2. I won't tell you the card name, so not a full spoiler, just a small little one. Alright, so we're going to do Throwing Knives at initiative 10. When you're done, you just click End Selection. Then the computer actually draws the initiatives and the abilities for the enemies. We'll see right here. So this allows you to kind of plan out what you want to do a little bit before you actually move. This is exactly the same way you can do it in the board game. So, you may have picked cards that may not work with how the enemies are going to go, but just do your best, see what happens, okay? So in this case, we have the Bandit Guard moving at initiative of 55, so I go both of my characters go before he does. They will move at a range of 1. They will attack at 2 and then strengthen themselves. Strengthen means that the next turn, they will be able to draw 2 modifier cards and take the better of the 2 rolls. So it might be bad next turn. Hopefully this turn, attack of 2 shouldn't be too terrible. Now the Bandit Archer, they are not moving, so that's good. However, they have a range of 3 and a target of 2. So that means they're going to be able to attack 2 targets if they're in range of 3. Luckily, though, they're only doing attack of 1, so that's not too terrible. If I don't manage to kill them, we should be able to take some of that damage. So, and we're going to have to try to kill at least one of them. So they're also moving at 56. So in this case, the Scoundrel's going to move first. Now, because of the cards I picked for the Cragheart, I do want to point out one thing. I did pick the skill, if you see on the left side of the card, the 29 has a move 2. All adjacent allies and enemies suffer 1 damage. So if I move the Scoundrel to a certain location and the Cragheart moves next to her, she is going to take an extra damage, which I probably don't want. So we're going to see if we can avoid that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move actually over to here. You can also undo it if you make a mistake, like, oh, I picked that card, I meant to pick that one. You can always undo it twice. Choose the other card you meant to choose and go from there. So try to be careful. Once you actually do like the movement or you do one of the other card abilities, you're not going to be able to undo that action. You're going to be stuck. I made that mistake a few times, so it does happen. All right, once I confirm my movement, like I said, you can't go back once you move. So there's no longer an undo. I can confirm the movement, which it won't let me do because it's like 1 movement left, so I can move 1 more space, or what I normally do is skip movement. I do a lot of that. Now, I got an action with this card down here. It says Poison. Target 1 adjacent enemy. So we're going to poison the Bandit Guard number 4. We're going to click on him. You can double-click, or you can click Confirm Targets when you're done. All right, so we now just gave him a Poison. So, the Poison. Poison's a little different in Gloomhaven than most games you're used to, okay? In most games that I've seen, Poison, every round the enemy takes damage based on your poison. No, not in Gloomhaven. Wound is actually the poison in most games. If they get a wound token, they will take 1 damage at the beginning of their turn. In Gloomhaven, poison means when you attack them with an attack, where you draw modifier cards, they will take 1 extra damage automatically. If you hit. You have to hit. So that is the only problem. So now we're in range of the 2 archers. Oh, one other thing. For ranged attacks, for those who don't know, if you're next to, like, adjacent, melee adjacent, to an enemy, and you try to attack them with a ranged attack, you will have a disadvantage. Disadvantage means you draw 2 modifier cards, and the worst of the modifiers gets added to your attack. I didn't explain modifiers yet. I apologize. Modifier cards, every time we attack, you actually pull from this modifier deck, which I'll show you right here, right now, in the top left corner. If you kind of mouse over the double sword icon, you can see we have a series of icons here. I'll explain them all real quick, and then we'll get to attack. So the first icon is this circle with a slash through it. That's basically a null symbol. If you have that symbol and you attack somebody and it gets drawn, it becomes no damage at all. So you do no damage to the attack. However, if your attack had a poison or a wound or some other ability modifier on it, the enemy would at least get that effect. So if you had a wound, they would still get the wound on them. However, you would still do no damage. The -2 means you get... Oops, sorry, I moved the mouse. You have a -2 to your damage. That's a really bad one. Also, the little dots below each icon are the number that you have in your deck at any given time. Okay? As you pull through them, it'll reshuffle. I'll explain that in just a second. But let's keep going. -1, you have 5 -1s in your deck. You have 6 zeros, which means no good, no bad, it's straight, whatever damage you do. You have a +1, which are 5 as well. So you have 5 chances to do 1 extra damage. You have 1 plus 2, so you have 1 extra chance to do a plus 2. Now, the times 2. This is a little bit tricky, only because there are 3 here. In normal Gloomhaven rules, you have 1 times 2 that gets drawn. However, because of playing in the adventure mode and playing on the easy difficulty, they actually give you free 2 times 2 bonuses. So you get a little bit easier time killing off the enemies, which is great when you're playing the game on easy. So when I play normal later or hard, you should not have those modifiers in there. Now, you will continue to draw these modifier cards until one of 2 things happens. You draw a null, or you draw a times 2 that has a reshuffle on it. Once one of those 2 is drawn, all the modifiers you played will be shuffled back into the deck, and you start redrawing from scratch again. Now, as per board game rules, if you have the worst luck in the world, which I've seen, if you draw a null on your one turn, let's say you shuffle your cards, your next turn, you could draw another null. You shuffle, you could draw another null on your next turn. It does happen, it's very rare. You're the worst luck shuffler in the world if that's the case, but it does happen. So we're going to finish the attack now. The one thing I don't like about how they do this attack, you might have to kind of squint to see it. It's really tiny, but on the actual modifier, no, not modifier, but attack number here, where you see the attack 2 above the enemy, is where the modifiers get drawn. I really wish they would kind of bring that to like the front of the screen. I think if they brought it directly to the front, it would look much, much better, because it's really hard to see what you draw. So we're going to go ahead and confirm target. I highlighted those 2. We're going to confirm the targets, and see right there, plus 2 on that one, so that's good. It killed him, 1 shot, yes. That one got 1 extra damage, not enough to kill it. But that's okay. I think our boulder will be able to finish taking that one out. So we're going to end the turn there. We'll keep that for right now. So what we're going to do is, I don't actually need to move to do this attack, so that's actually awesome. First off, we're just going to try to attack this guy with the boulder, and as you can see, it's all allies and enemies adjacent to the target except for 1 damage. That is not a draw modifier deck pull, so that should be an automatic 1 damage, so that should, in theory now, kill the archer behind. So let's confirm that. I'll just double-click this time to show you that does work. He does his ability, throws the boulder, kills the one behind. However, you might have missed it. I drew a null. Actually, you can see right here. If you highlight, you can see what cards you've drawn. My first pull, of course, a null. No! So I did no damage. However, I did kill the archer behind, so not as bad as it could have been. Now, I can move 2 here and do an extra damage to him. But they are going to move and attack 2. They're only moving 1. If I don't move, these 2 guys can't actually hit me. So I think I'm actually going to skip my move. To skip the move, you can do 1 of 2 things. You can click here. As long as it doesn't have a discard option in the bottom right corner, you can use whatever's on the bottom or just say skip it. I'm going to do that here. Alternatively, if the card did have a, like, oh, loot 3 discard option, if you click on it, you're going to discard it no matter what. That means you lose the card. So, or not discard, excuse me, burn is what I meant, burn. So we're going to do, you can do this on the burn cards and then skip movement, and you don't lose the card at the end of the turn. So we'll end his turn. We're going to let them move. Now the one guy on the right you just saw over here, I was in range with my scoundrel, so they will attack. This is very similar to the board game here. You have a burn 1 card. If you want to absorb damage, you can burn 1 of your active cards. That means the green ones, okay, to not take the damage. You can receive the damage straight up, or you can burn 2 discarded cards. That means, you might have seen when it was highlighted. In the bottom left corner, the 2 cards I just used are considered discarded. I could burn 2 of those cards to not take the 2 damage. But 2 damage, I have 8 hit points, I think, starting out. Yeah, I can't see right now. Can I highlight? Yeah, that's the other thing they don't really explain. Oh, no, there it is. Duh. It's above the character. I have 10 hit points right above the character. It's 10 hit points, and you see that green bar. That's where they show you there. I wish, too, though, they would have it in some of the other menus, like highlighting over here. They should show more data, so I'm hoping they'll kind of fix some of the UI a little bit as we go forward. Just make things a little more explanatory to you. Alright, so that guard, he now strengthened and attacked. Now that one's going to move. He strengthened. Sorry, he can't attack. He's also moving and strengthening, but not attacking because I'm not in range. So perfect. Now we're going to end the round. So next up, we are going to do 2 more cards. Pick 2 more cards to fight with. And I got 2 guys right here, so let's see. Oh, Avalanche would be good. I will lose it because it has that burn symbol on it. See right here? This is basically a burn symbol. The card gets set ablaze and I lose it. However, this attack right here should be a nice attack. I'm going to get a bonus for having the earth in the air right now. As you see on the right side of the screen here, I have earth. So if I do that, I should be able to do 5 straight up damage. Provided I don't get bad luck and draw another null, in theory, I should be able to kill or almost kill both of them. So we're going to try the Avalanche out. And then let's go ahead and find something to help us move a bit. I kind of want to do this one, but it's a little slow. We're going to give it a shot. We're going to see if this works. So this one will give me, you know what, that's a burn though. Probably not the best one to pick right now. I have no other good movement cards. Okay, let's tell you what. Let's just do Unstable Upheaval instead. I'll just move the base movement of 2. Do the Rock Tunnel, or not the Rock Tunnel, excuse me. I almost chose the wrong card. See, that's what happens if you click around too fast. It seems to pick like the last card you chose, or the one you chose as the initiative. It'll switch the cards around by clicking if you're not careful. And I've made several mistakes where I wasn't paying attention and chose the wrong 2 cards. So always a good idea to double check your setting before you move on. So we got the Unstable Upheaval for the move, and the Fast 13 initiative, and the Avalanche. We're going to try to see if we can hopefully kill those 2 guards off. I want to try to get them before they do their strengthening, because that's going to mean they have a high potential for doing double damage to us, and we don't want the double damage. That can do lots of damage to us in the very beginning. Not a good idea. So for this one, we're going to choose. See what would be good here. Don't even disarm. Do Thief Snack. That bottom is going to give me an attack. He's already poisoned, so I don't really need that. It's attack of 3. Tell you what, we're just going to use Flanking Strike. I want to make sure we go fast again so we can try to get this guard killed before we move too far in here. Alright. So we got our cards. We got our 4 initiative and 13. Let's end the selection and see what happens. Oh, good. Bandit Guard of 15. I'm glad I picked that fast initiative for the Cragheart. So he's actually going to shield and then attack. However, if I wasn't in range, he would not be able to attack because he has no movement on this ability right now. So let's see what we can do here. Tell you what, we're going to do the attack 3 against this guy first. As you can see on right above his name, or not the name, but the health hit point gauge of the boss. Ugh. I'm going to need more caffeine here shortly. Right above the name of the enemy, the bandit, he has 5 hit points, but you'll see attack of 4. That's because I poisoned him last turn. So he will take 1 extra damage, and hopefully we can get him killed if we can draw a +1. Let's see what happens. We're going to confirm the target. Ah, yes, we got a +1. Perfect. So he is actually dead in 1 strike. Now, I'm not going to be able to use the bottom of this card, unfortunately. The attack of 3, I'm not in range of anybody else to be able to hit. So, in good fashion, I'm going to use this option here, which I may not have explained. I should explain this real quick. If you don't like the top or bottom of your card, you can always do an option. For the bottom card, you can always move 2 automatically. Or the top card, if you don't like the top, like Disarm and Adjacent Trap, I may not have needed that. Maybe I wanted to do a 2 attack. You can do a base 2 attack at any point without having to worry about burning the cards or losing them. You still discard them as normal, but you will not burn them or lose them if you use the 2 attack or the base 2 attack or the base 2 movement. So we're going to do movement, and in true scoundrel fashion, we're going to move over and steal some loot. So where do we want to go? Let's go here. And we will get that coin now. You'll see the coins on the right side over here. Oh, also I didn't point this out earlier. We have a kill all enemies in all rooms. As I said, most of the game seem to be this. You'll see this little kind of ticker tape going up. So every time we kill somebody, it will increase from right to left. So whenever we get all the way to the end over here, we have finished the scenario. The nice thing with this is you at least get an idea of how many enemies are probably going to be in here. What have we killed? 3 so far. So that's probably about 30%. So most likely we're going to have about 10 enemies overall within this room or the next set of rooms. We just have to get through them all before we run out of cards. Okay? So let's now continue with the crack card. Now, the bottom card here I got was an all allies suffer 1 damage and shield 2. Don't really need to use this right now, so we're not going to. Instead, we're going to move right between the 2 guys. Right to there. We're going to skip the rest of the movement. Only need 1 space. Now, for the attack, one tricky thing when you're burning these items off, if you just click the attack, you're not going to use the magic that you put in the air. So what you actually have to do is click, see how if you highlight right over where kind of the earth symbol is here on this line, you'll see it lights up. That will give me +1 to my attack now for that round. So we're going to do that. I can't use the Warhammer here, that's okay. But we're going to do the attack of that. Now you'll see the symbol over here is gone. That's how you make sure you know you've used it. And now you click anywhere on the card except for here. If you click here again, it goes away. You turn it off. Don't turn it off. Keep it on. So we're going to click there, click anywhere else on the top part of the card. And now you'll see, you see how there's 2 slightly darker kind of orangey circles? Or not circles, hexes. That's where I'm going to be attacking. So what I want to make sure is that I have them on the right spaces. I do. And as you can see on their health bar, if I get a +0 or higher, they're automatically dead. So let's hope we can at least draw +0s. So let's confirm the targets. +0, -1. No, we missed 1. Oh well. That tends to happen too. But that's okay. We got another one down. That guy has 1 hit point. We'll get him easy next turn, so I'm not too worried. Let's see how much damage Crackheart's going to take, though. So he shields. He's going to attack for 2. He is going to poison me, however, which I got to be careful with later. So he did 3 damage. We're 12 hit points. We can take the 3. I don't want to burn cards. It's a bad idea to burn cards really early, unless they somehow miraculously get like a one-shot kill on you. I wouldn't burn a card. Not a good idea at all. Alright, so now let's end that round. I'm going to take a quick drink here, pardon me, and then we will continue. Alright. So, we have 1 enemy left with 1 hit point. It would be such a waste to try to make both of my guys attack him, so let's just make 1 person attack. So in this case, let's do... let's do that one. Oops. Oh yeah, if you click on the circle before you've chosen a card, you can't actually select the card that way. You have to select the card where the name plate is, or it won't go anywhere. So let's do Crushing Grasp. You know, I do have a concern with this card, only because I'm worried I'm not going to move fast enough to be able to kill him. So that does worry me a bit. I choose this one. So just to make sure, we have a move of 3. Yeah, let's do those 2. And just in case he does get a faster movement, I'm going to set up my rogue with the backstab option, which is a move 6 and attack of 3. And I'll get extra damage if he's not next to his ally and I'm next to one of my allies. So we should get a lot of damage if we need it. And then, if we don't need that one, let's do Quick Hands. Yeah, let's do that. If we get a good attack off too, the Scoundrel might be able to loot instead. But let's see what we got here. So let's end that turn. Alright, so he's moving at 35, the exact number I picked for the Kragnar. That's good. In the Adventure Mode game, you win automatically if you tie the enemy. In the board game, though, I believe you could choose. Do you want the enemy to go first, or do you want to go first? I may be wrong about that, so don't quote me on that. But in my board game, we normally give people the option. But I will say most of the time, the players end up going first. You don't want the enemy to do it if you don't have to. Oh, yeah, look. So the enemy, I didn't even notice. Move 1, attack 2 with a range. So I was right. The Bandit Guard did have 1 ranged attack, at least, in their draw deck. All right. Oh, by the way, I did not mention this earlier with looting. In order to pick up coins on the ground, even in the board game, you have to actually move your character onto them and end your turn. For those characters who have loot options, like the Scoundrel here, they do have a loot 1. Loot 1 does mean I could loot everything up to 1 tile away from me. I have seen loot 2 as well, so you could potentially, if I had a character with loot 2 right now, I could loot all 3 of these tiles, but I'm not going to do that. I'd rather make sure this guy dies. But I think the Cragheart should be able to kill him, so we're going to leave him alone. What I'm going to do instead is, I want to see what's in this other room, so we're going to use our movement of 6 and walk to that room and see what we got. Okay, so in true Gloomhaven fashion, whenever you enter a new room, the enemies, if you don't have the enemies already drawn, they will draw their card to attack you. As soon as that character is done with their turn, if the number is lower. So for those who may not be able to follow, if there's a bandit archer in this room right here, okay, they drew a 56 initiative, but as I'm a Scoundrel, and as my next character going would be the Cragheart, if they had pulled something under 35, like a 30, for example, because I entered this room with the Scoundrel, as soon as the Scoundrel's turn was done, the bandit would go ahead and move because it would become active before the Cragheart would. Also, if they happen to be an enemy that moved faster than my Scoundrel, like a 4, I still get to finish my turn, okay? They do not get to go. I would finish my turn then, if they had like a 4 initiative, then the bandit archer would go, and then play would continue normally again. Okay? So when we go in here and look at this room, we do have 2 enemies. We do have the bandit archer who's going to move 1, attack 2, range of 2, and the bandit archer, which is just going to attack but not move. So I have 2 options. I could back out of here and say attack this guy and try to set up for next round. That is an option, right? The other option is I can be a little more aggressive. I haven't lost that many hit points yet. I could also move directly next to them and then set up directly for maybe 2 attacks next turn, depending on how I draw and how things go. That's normally a pretty good option. Again, I'm only going to be taking 1 damage at most from that one and 2 damage. However, because they're both going to be doing range attacks, they will be at a disadvantage, so they have a less or a greater likelihood of drawing poor cards. I'm going to be aggressive. We're going in. And this way we'll also get an attack on them. So let's end our movement there, right next to them. We're going to do this, but we're not going to have to move because we're already next to them, so we'll skip that. And who should we go first? Let's go for the archer. I tend to like the archers less, although he's stuck in the corner. He really can't get out. He's always going to be disadvantaged. You know what? I changed my mind. Let's go for the guard. Alright, we attacked the guard. We did 1 whopping damage to the guard. Boo! That's okay. So, I should have done Eagle Eye Goggles. Completely forgot I had them. End Scoundrel's turn. Let's move on to the Cragheart. So, provided this doesn't get all screwed up, we're going to attack this guard with an attack of 3. I just want to kill him, get him out of the way. Oh, and of course, now we just drew a ×2. You know, why couldn't we get that attack the first time we attacked him, right? Ugh, it happens. Alright, and then I'm going to move to here just because I want the coin. And my concern is if the guard moves over to here, he might have line of sight. He will have line of sight to me if I'm right here. So I'm trying to move here, and I don't think he's going to have line of sight. So let's end the turn. So he attacked. I'll take the 1 damage. Now the archer attacks. -1. No damage. That's exactly what I wanted. So no damage. That was perfect. Alright, we're going to end the round. Also, because I did not use the Earthenol last round, it will be waning this turn now, which means if I don't use it on the next turn, or this turn, next turn it will go away. So, not sure I'm going to be able to use it, but let's see what we can do. See, I would love to do this, but it's going to muddle all allies and enemies, so I'm going to basically make my Scoundrel have a negative to the next attack, so let's not do that. Move 5, jump, but that's going to burn it. I'd rather not do that. Let's do Earth and Clod, and I guess Dirt Tornado for the move. That should work. Then, for the Scoundrel, I got a couple things left here. What can we do? I could go Invisible. Invisible wouldn't be a terrible option. That would mean my next attack, I would be invisible. They cannot attack me. However, the Cragheart would be susceptible to attack. I also have Venom Shift. I could poison one of them. And single out. Yeah, let's go with Smoke Bomb. We'll see how the round goes and see what happens. Alright. Sometimes you just got to go on faith and luck. You know, you never know what's going to happen until they draw. So, what do we have here? Bandit Archer is going to move at 2, attack at 3 at a range of 2. That's a lot of damage. The Bandit Guard's going to move at 2 and attack at 2, but at 50. So the Archer's going to go before I do. But the Guard's going to go after the Cragheart. Okay, so I could try to kill the Guard. The Archer's still going to have the negative bonus, so alright, we're going to try to go attack the Guard, but do I want to burn my goggles? So the goggles are cool. They give you advantage automatically on your next attack. So if I did use this, I have a high probability of being able to kill the Guard. Probably like 75% chance of killing him. If I don't use it, that chance is really more of a like 40% chance. I don't necessarily have to kill him off, though, because I could use some of the healing with the Cragheart to get back some of the health that I might lose. So let's just attack and poison the Guard. Although I could do the Archer. Same amount of chance for the Archer, though. Yeah, you know what? Let's try to see if we can get the Archer down. You know what? Let's go in Eagle Eye Goggles. We'll show you how that works. So Eagle Eye Goggles, I just selected them. I now have this little blue hex below me. That means I'm confirming that I'm using it on myself. There are some options where you can use them on other characters. But not in this case. I'm going to use the Eagle Eye Goggles there, and then we're going to attack with a poison on the Archer. Oh, of course, I drew 2 negative ones. So that did not help, but it was kind of a waste. That's okay. It does happen. The bottom of this card is a pull. That's really not going to help any. We'll just do the standard movement and skip it for now. I'd rather be where the Archer has disadvantage as well. Hopefully we can get less damage. So let's see what happens. Archer's up. So instead of a +1, we did get a +0, so that's good. We did take less damage. Alright, now it is our turn, so I can't heal, unfortunately. That's okay. That attack's not going to do anything either, so we're just going to have to move and do the other attack. So move of 3. We're going to move there. You know what? We might be able to kill the Archer. Won't help for this turn, but we would kill him off. Probably wouldn't hurt. Let's try. Don't draw a minus. Oh, we drew a null again. Bad luck so far with null today. Well, we did all our movement, so all we can do is end the turn. Now the Guard's going to attack my Scoundrel, and they're down to a whopping 2 hit points. Alright, not looking so good for the Scoundrel right now. Let's see what we might be able to do to pull that out. I think... Alright, so now we're to a rest mode. Let me go over this a little bit, just so people know what's going on. There's 2 options for resting. When you're out of cards, you can't do anything, okay? So we either have to do a long rest, which means you automatically go at initiative 99, meaning at the end of everybody else's turn. You do get 2 hit points back, and anything you used that was a tap, like my Eagle Eye Goggles, I would get back. However, I'm still susceptible to attack. That's bad. At the end of the long rest turn, you also have to lose a card of your choice. You do get to pick what you lose, though. The alternative is a short rest. You do a short rest, you get all your discarded cards back, not burned cards, just discarded, and you lose one of them at random. You can pay 1 health point if you don't want to lose the card that you drew, but you then have to lose the next one. We're going to have to do a short rest because I think I'm going to have to attack and then run away. So let's do a short rest. I'm going to lose Special Mixture. Oh, I was really hoping to get that heal back, but I don't want to lose the extra hit point. That might kill me, so we're just going to burn it. All right. So I have to definitely get out of there. Either one of these would work. Let's do the Flanking Strike. That's going to give me a lot of movement to get out of there. And let's get an attack in here. Could do an attack through with Poison. Let's try that. So let's do the Venom Shiv. I'm planning on attacking the guard, I think, and then I'll back out. And I'm going to see if I can set up the Cragheart now to do this Crater move. So that's going to be all adjacent allies and enemies suffer 1 damage. But I also get a move and jump, and then all adjacent allies and enemies suffer 1 damage to wherever I move to. So that'll at least do 1 damage to everything, and then do I have anything else? That'll give me at least an attack of 3. Alright, let's try these two. Going to be going at 46 though, so that's going to be a little bit slow. But let's see what we can do here. Alright. Let's end that selection and see what happens. Bandit Guard. Oh, okay, going at 15. That's okay. I'll be out of there by then. So the Bandit Guard should not be attacking or hurting anybody. The Bandit Archer is getting attack of 3, range of 4, but Cragheart's going to be the only one in the way. So I think we can make this work. So let's continue. Now what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to attack the guard. Although I'm not going to be range the guard, neither will the Cragheart. Maybe I should attack this guy instead. Let's try to get rid of the archer instead. That way he won't get an attack. Good, we killed him. And therefore I don't have to worry about the Cragheart taking 3 extra damage. We'll just kind of move out of the way. So let's... He has no movement. Let's just move back here. Let's steal more coin, right? That's what a rogue does anyway. Give me more money. Let's skip that movement. Continue on here. And the scoundrel's turn. Oh boy. Alright. So, shield. I did not explain that earlier either. So, shield. When somebody has a shield on, any attack you do, they will take 1 less damage unless the enemy has a pierce, or the person attacking has a pierce. A pierce attack will go through a shield. So you can have pierce of 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Also, since I do have a card up that shows it, retaliate. Retaliate means that if you put it on your character, whenever they get attacked, the enemy will automatically take the retaliate damage when they get attacked. So it is pretty useful. It can definitely help things. Now this changes my plan a little bit. I don't need to move and try to kill this guy off and burn that card. So I think instead we're just going to do the attack of 3, range of 2, and hopefully we'll at least do 2 damage. So let's see what we got. Yep, we got 2 whole damage. That works. He still took the damage. So do I want to use this one? So this is on the next 6 melee attacks targeting you, you get retaliate. You know what? Let's go ahead and put that on. This is a burn after it's used, but every second retaliate, we get a free experience. So let's do that action. You haven't seen one of these yet either. This is a kind of a permanent card. So once I confirm it, it will now be on the top of my draw deck, like in a white border, and it'll show that it's active until it gets used up. All right, we're done with that round. Let's end the turn and see what we got next. Yeah, see right here? We got the opposing strike, and we are going to keep it active until we go through all... Of course, I can't move and show you, can I? Nope, can't click. Oh, that's canceled. I don't want to cancel it. You can cancel it if you need to get it back for some reason. Now, we are out of cards. That's bad. I could short rest. You know what? I'm going to long rest. If he attacks me, I'm going to take some damage anyway. I already have a poison on me. I'm still going to take an extra point. But I can choose what card to get rid of, and my 2 points of heal should get rid of my poison. And he should die from the retaliation. So we're going to do a long rest with him. And for the rogue, I don't want to use my throwing knives. Let's see what. Let's get a little better view here. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I'm 5 spaces away from the door, so I could backstab and do my move of 6. And then I could smoke bomb. That would make me invisible, so I can't get attacked. And nothing could walk past me. So therefore, the credit card would be safe from that. And then the following round, I could set up for a couple throwing knives. Let's try that. All right. Okay, the Bandit Guard is going to move at 1, and then attack of 2, and strengthen. That should be okay. So let's do the move of 6. Oh, here we go. So that's something good I can show you. Right here. That is a trap. You can see on the right is a damage of 2. So in this easy scenario, if somebody moved onto that trap or were pushed or pulled onto it, they would automatically take 2 damage. One thing I have noticed, though, is the game AI for players isn't that smart. Sometimes if you want to go a certain path, it may try to move you automatically through the trap. So you can, however, kind of set up waypoints of how you want to move. So like the path they're taking me is kind of behind the credit card. I could, in theory, click here, then click here, and then go to the door. So it does allow you the ability to kind of walk around the squares. If you don't want to hit, if this was a trap, I could avoid it that way. Because the game would automatically take me through the trap. And I've done that on accident before, going a little too fast. But let's see how this works. So we're going to go there. It's only 5 movement to the door, so I have 1 movement left. Oh, okay, so in here we have 2 archers. Oh, one's elite, though. See this guy? So the elite archers. In Gloomhaven, you have white enemies and yellow enemies. Those are base colors. So the white enemies are kind of standard enemies, and then the yellow ones are harder, essentially. So for this one, he has 6 hit points, 2 movement, 3 attack, and 3 range, whereas our other one right now would have 4 health, 2 movement, 2 attack, 3 range. So he gets 2 extra hit points and 1 extra attack. Not a great combination. So what we are going to do is, I'll just go ahead and step in the room. It's not going to hurt. They only have attack right now. They don't have any movement, so I want to try to get a little bit closer. Yeah, right there will work. And now I'm going to burn this card and go invisible. I do lose it, but I don't want to be in here taking 4 damage from there and 3 damage from here. Also, let's look around the room real quick. I don't see any other doors. The tab button doesn't actually highlight them. I hoped it would, but it doesn't. It does highlight traps, though, and the enemies. Not treasure chests. That's interesting. So that's a treasure chest. It could have gold in it. It could have items. Good to get if you can, but if you can't, it does happen. All right, so we're going to confirm the action of going invisible. And now I am invisible! Invisibility. You cannot be the target of an attack. Directly, at least. You're also considered an obstacle, so enemies cannot move through you. Allies still can. It does last until the end of your next turn. Very important. End of your next turn. So next turn, if you decide to move, you're going to become invisible as soon as your turn's over. Okay? So keep that in mind if you ever use invisibility. Honestly, for invisibility, if you can, going slower is actually better. If you can go so slow you're after all the other enemies, you can let their turns all go, then you can go, and then you're not invisible anymore. So I try to do that when I can, unless I have to move fast for some reason. So let's end the scoundrel turn here. Next up will be the guard. It's going to attack. Oh, good. Only took 2 damage. That's perfect, because they drew a -1. And that guard died. Died because of the retaliate. All right. Now, I did a long rest. So, poison. Poison is an effect that you don't get healed when you're healed. However, when you do heal, the poison goes away. So I no longer have poison on me, which is great, but I didn't get any health back. And because I did a long rest, I also now get to choose which one of my cards to get rid of. So there are only 2 enemies left. I'm probably going to get rid of backup ammunition. It's not a bad card, especially if you do range attacks, because on your next 4 range attacks, you can do 2 on each target. Or 2, I'm sorry. You can add a target, which means you can hit 2 enemies versus 1 for anything that's a single target attack. I do like it, but in terms of the other cards right now, that's the most likely one to get rid of. I'm most likely going to go in there and hit both of them anyway with something, so we'll make it work. Alright, now that I chose my card to get rid of, I will end my turn. And end the round. Okay, moving right along, we have the next turn now. Let me do the Scoundrel first, only because I want to go slow on purpose. So let's do single out, and actually I'm going to go at 86. Yeah, and then Cragheart. So I kind of want to move in there and try to attack, but I'm concerned if I go in there too far, I'm going to get big, heavy attacks against me. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. Instead of moving in, let me do this. I'm going to move up a little bit and try to heal the Scoundrel. I got to be at least up to here, though. So I need to move 2 squares, so let's use... I'll use the crater. I'm not going to use the bottom part of the cart now. You know what? Let's use Rock Tunnel instead. Yeah, I can use Rock Tunnel. I'm going to use the base 2 movement here instead of wasting the move 5. There's no reason to waste the move 5, honestly. You're going to jump. Yeah, you can jump over characters. You can jump over obstacles, jump over traps and enemies. And I can immobilize people, but it does get burned. I do get an experience point. But right now, it's just a waste of a card. Unless I wanted the experience. I could have gone for that, I guess. But alright, so they draw 56. Oh, by the way, the elites and the normal enemies do share whatever card is drawn for the enemy. So as you see, their abilities are similar. Only more damage because the archer is elite. Okay? But they do draw the same card and the same initiative and everything else. So that's okay. They're not moving. They don't have great range, so they should not be able to hit me. This ought to be perfect. So I'm going to move 2 up to here, avoiding the trap, and then we're going to heal the Scoundrel. You know, I just did not like being at 2 hit points. I probably could have finished it, but this way should be a little bit safer. So the archer should now go, but they can't see anybody, right? Because I'm invisible. Woo woo! So let's move a little bit closer, because I want to try to get that chest before they die, hopefully. So in other words, I hope I don't kill them on this turn by accident. I shouldn't, though. It's only attack of 2, so I'm not anticipating them being dead. Though it's giving me an attack of 4 for some reason. Not sure why it gave me that extra bonus there. Because I didn't use that ability, so... Not sure why exactly that happened. I might have had something on that I didn't remember. Oh, that's right. I know what it was. The Smoke Bomb. Completely forgot about that effect. So the Smoke Bomb, on my next attack after becoming invisible, I get to double my damage. So, completely forgot about that effect. Yeah, sorry, I'm not used to playing the Scoundrel or Cragheart as much, so it's taking a little bit longer to go through their turns. The 2 starting characters that they don't have in here are the 2 that I played. The Tinkerer is more of a long-range support healing character. I played them initially. And I also played the Mind Thief. They're like a little rattling melee rogue-ish character. They have some special abilities that they can like reduce enemy debuffs or buff your player or himself. So I played those 2. I'm not as familiar with these, so please bear with me. Alright, this should be the last turn coming up. So there are 2 important things I want to make sure they get done. 1, I want to get that chest, see what's in it. 2, I want to try to kill the archer this turn if I can. So we're going to try both. Let's see if we can do it. First off, we're going to need to move in there, so Massive Boulder would be good. That would be an attack of 3, range of 3. Crater would 2, though, so let's do the Crater. The problem is now I need movement. 1, 2. That'll work. Okay, I can move in with Unstable upheaval. Let's make that the initiative of 13. That way, hopefully, we'll go faster than the archer. And now, I only have 2 cards left for the scoundrel right now. So let's use both. That makes it easy when there are 2 cards left. It's like, boom, gonna play him. I could have rested. Long rested or short rested, but it wouldn't have really helped in this case, so let's just avoid it. Alright. So we are going to move the standard 2 here. We're going to move up to here. You can shoot through obstacles, so you see this big vase is in the way. It will not affect me at all, though, so I'm good with that. You know what? Let's try the push on that. I don't know if the push is going to work. Let's see if it does. So I'm going to attack him. Although I may not even see the push unless I miss or don't kill him. Oh, I didn't kill him. So I do actually have the option to push. It looks like push is working here. So I can actually push the enemy back to here. I didn't really need to, but now I can actually move the rogue onto the chest, get the chest, and attack the guys. So that is actually kind of nice. Alright, let's end the turn there. Now, we're going to move the 2. Skip the movement. And then attack for 2. This should finish him off. And I did not draw a null. Yes! Alright. Whew! First part of the scenario done. Alright. Now, as you can see, the turn hasn't ended. We haven't actually finished yet. That's because they let you go through whatever actions you may have left, whatever characters you may not have used yet, before the scenario actually ends. So in this case, I'm not going to move because I want that chest, so we'll just do fake attack, skip it, end the turn. We'll get the chest. Survey says 10 gold. Not terrible. Would have liked to have gotten an item, since I'm a little low on items right now. But that's okay. Let's continue on. Alright. This is the victory page of accomplishments. As you can see, there's not a lot here. Most of it is not available. You do see how many enemies you killed, and you do see gold acquired. So I didn't get a lot of gold. Or were there about 10 enemies? Didn't get a lot of money out of it. That's okay. 9 enemies? There were 9. 5 in the first room, 2 in the next one, then 2 in the... Yeah, there were 9 enemies. Oh, duh. It's right here, right? 9 enemies killed. Alright. Hopefully they'll get this a little more fleshed out as we go and give you a little more details. I hope with the multiplayer they'll kind of maybe break it down per character, but we'll see. We'll see when we get to that point. By the way, for those who haven't seen the roadmap, the campaign and multiplayer are not due until 2020. So there's no rush to buy the game right now. If you want to play the adventure mode, I actually love the adventure mode. I played quite a bit on some of the other teams, but there's no need to get it right now. It is $24.99 as the base price. They will be adding in quarter 3, I believe, the Tinkerer, and either more enemies or more terrain types. And then in quarter 4 is the Mine Thief, with either more enemies or more terrain types. They added a few new things in the quarter 3 and quarter 4 of 2019. And I believe in 2020 there's actually a roadmap for the first quarter, maybe, where they're going to give you some early stuff in 2020 as well. Alright, so this doesn't always happen, but as you can see here, we have 2 branched paths. Okay, I can either go to the Forgotten Tunnels or to the Blighted Keep. All right, they do have different enemy types, so that might dictate the way I want to go. In this one, you have Living Bones, Living Corpse, Bone Ranger, and Living Spirit. I really don't like the Living Spirit early on in the game when I have no equipment, only because they have a shield of 2 base. And I have very few abilities that give me more than like 2 damage. So they're really tough to fight. So I think we might go this way. Now, the only problem with the cultists, by the way, the cultists do summon living bones, potentially, if they draw the card too. So the only problem with the cultist side is we might get a bunch of extra enemies to fight. Neither one's really a great way to go. The rewards don't change with the way you go, because the rewards are earned when you get to the end. So it doesn't really matter which way we go. So let's try the Blighted Keep. Yeah, let's go that way. Alright. Oh, we got another encounter, Twitch. Oh, wow, this is like 3 things we can do here. So here, help me pick. Let's see what we do here. Up ahead, you see a Quattrel suspended from a tree by his ankles. As you approach, he notices you and cries out. Hey, you there, travelers! Help a poor tinker out, would you? So we can either ask him what happened, attempt to help him, or rob him. Oh, I see chat's already going evil again, robbing him. All right, I got one rob him. Let's see what happens. The only problem with robbing him that I can see is we're probably not going to get anything because he's probably already been robbed. So that's my only concern with robbing him. But you know what? We're going evil. Let's do it. I went with Twitch. Rob him. The ensnared Quattrel unleashes a torrent of insults and profanities as you search through the pack on the ground below him. Unsurprisingly, the Tinker's gear is mostly junk, but you do find one item of interest before leaving the furious Quattrel to his fate. So look at that. We robbed him and at least we got something out of it. We got, oh nice, we got the remote spider. So during your turn, it's a consumable, but during your turn you can poison all adjacent enemies. Very cool. See, look at that. We rob him and we got something out of it. You never know what happens in this game. Sometimes being evil is worth it. All right, now, we did get a new item, so I do want to show people what we got here. We got a consumable. Because it's a melee consumable, like during your turn poison all adjacent enemies, I'm going to put it on the scoundrel. Yeah, I agree, chat. Totally worth it. Yeah, with our luck, we rescue him and he just goes off. We don't get anything out of it. Who knows? Yeah, I was curious about the third option. Normally you don't see three options, so the asking him what happened maybe would have given us more details, so maybe that would have helped us choose it, but maybe we'll try that next time when we get three choices. We can ask what happened and see what occurs. All right, let me get a quick drink here. Before my voice starts popping a bit here. All right. Oh, also, for those watching, this game is not slow. I'm sorry, I'm trying to go as fast as I can, but since it is kind of our first playthrough, I want to explain some things extra. Hopefully the next couple we do, we'll go through a little faster. But as for those who know about playing the board game, you can be playing for hours. Like, just one scenario can take forever. Just because you have to pick your cards, you all the shuffling. This at least gets rid of all the shuffling and all the mundane stuff you have to do. So this, in theory, the digital version, should be quite a bit faster, especially with setup time too. Because, you know, setup can just take forever to get the game going. So let's finish up this scenario. We'll probably call it quits after that. But let's finish this up, and then we'll go from there. So what do we have here? We have two cultists over here. We have one living bones over here on the right. And then we have one bone ranger. Oh, for those who play the board game, the bone ranger, slight spoiler for you, or maybe not for those who do play, they're not in the board game at all, right? So this is actually a new enemy type that was created by, I forget the name of the company who's making this, but made by the company with approval by Isaac Childress, the creator of Gloomhaven, to be included in the digital game. The funny part is, it's a skeleton, right? So all the undead creatures are called like living bones, living spirit, living corpse. Why wasn't this living archer? I mean, come on, guys. Living archer would have been the perfect name for this enemy. But no, instead they went out of the right. They called it the Bone Ranger. I'll give him a bone or two. See what happens. All right. So just because the Bone Ranger is range, I do like taking them out first. However, in this case, I want to focus on the cultists because I already know from playing the board game, sorry, slight spoiler, if you haven't played it, they will summon living bones, these enemies right here, if I'm not careful. And with my luck, I have played a few of these. I did get a post in chat. I have a, isn't living archer just like a living person who is an archer? You would think. I would agree. You would think that's what the living archer would be. But no, in this case, if you look at like the skeleton, they're called living bones, right? There was I don't know. I think I did have them in this match. You don't see them yet. There's a living spirit who's basically a ghost. They're not really living, maybe unliving, undead. There's also living corpse who's basically a big fat zombie, but they call him for some reason a living corpse. So just saying that in the nomenclature with the rest of the game, you would think that, you know, living bones or living archer would fit this name of the bone ranger. I mean, I guess you could do living ranger. That could be a range guy, right? I don't know. We'll see. It is nice at least that this shows there is an ability to put in new new character types, right? So you might be able to put in all kinds of character types. You know, make some steampunk enemies that come fight you that drop stuff from the sky. I don't know. You can do whatever you want at some point, hopefully, with the modding tools. But let's move along here. Living Bow. Somebody said Living Bow in chat. That's an interesting name. Yeah, Living Bow could work, right? At least it kind of gives you some information. I mean, the thing is with like Living Bones, why didn't they do like Living Skeleton, right? Because then you could have knocked out some other living style creatures. But it's okay. It's just names anyway. They all work, right? So let's move along here and see if we can get these two cultists dead. Let's start with the Scoundrel. I want to do Throwing Knives. I like those. We're going to try to do Attack of 2, Range of 3, Target 2. And let's do... Where's my special mixture? I'm going to might try to do this one too. Let's see how it works. So I'm going to put on special mixture. I might try to move and poison somebody if I need to, but let's see what happens. All right, next up, let's go to the Cragheart. We want to do a ranged attack, but not something that's going to hurt the rogue. Actually, I don't have to do ranged. I could move to here and do Avalanche. That's going to be attack of 4. I'll lose the card, though. I'm always worried about losing cards this early in the game. I mean, this is like the first room. And if I lose it, I'm not going to be able to do that attack again. So I don't like doing that if I don't have to. Could do the Massive Boulder. Let's do that. Let's do the Massive Boulder instead. And just to make sure I get enough speed on him, let's do Unstable Upheaval with a 13. So Rogue should go first, and then we'll try to do cleanup with the Cragheart if needed. So let's see what happens. We're going to end the turn. See, this is why right here, Cultist at 63, summoning Living Bones. Now, they will take 2 damage. So at least if I can inflict 2 damage on each Cultist, if they do summon Living Bones, at least they will die. But I've had this happen multiple times in a row in some of the boards in the game that the Cultists are so far away, you have no hope to get to them. So then they just keep summoning and summoning and summoning, and then you just get overwhelmed and you die. Sucks. All right. Now, the Bone Ranger. They are a new card draw. I don't know all the things they do, but this particular one is Attack 1, Range of 3, and then another Attack 1, Range of 3. And the Living Bones is not going to move, only attack, but does target 2 by default. So as long as I stay out of range of that, I should be fine. The Bone Ranger. Yeah, I'm so far away from the Bone Ranger. Actually, this turned out to be a pretty good draw. So let's see what else we can do here. All right, this is going to give me a negative. Do I want to do that? Let's see. Am I going to be in range 1, 2, 3? I should still be out of range of the Archer. It's going to give me a negative, but I can show you what we'll do to get rid of that. So we're going to confirm movement. I'm going to move up to here. Skip the rest of the movement. And then we're going to poison this guy with confirming the targets. All right, he is now poisoned. Just to make sure I get the attack done the way I want, I am going to do the advantage with the Eagle Eye Goggles. I am going to get, you see this little blinking melee icon? That basically means I'm disadvantaged from getting melee range with a range attack. But you know what? I'm okay with that. The advantage will kind of nullify that anyway. So let's see what we can do here. I'm going to do attack. Oh, of course, we drew a null on the first guy. Doesn't that just figure? That's okay. It's okay. We got him down to 1. I think I can make this work. So we're going to end his turn now. Or her turn, excuse me. Scoundrel is a female. There are also skins they're planning to add, so you can actually change the look of the character. I don't know if they're going to change between like male or female or such like that. We'll see what happens when they release those, but I think they already showed a picture of the Scoundrel skin that you can choose. I believe it was still a female-looking character, but maybe she had a different hair color, I think. I don't remember, though, sorry. We'll have to look it up online. So let's do, not that one, this one. Almost chose the wrong one. It had an attack of 3, but that's adjacent enemies. Did not want to do that. Also, adjacent allies suffer damage. Let's not do that one. We're going to do this one. Now, the bottom part of this card is all allies and enemies adjacent to the target suffer 1 damage. So if I do attack this guy, which is my plan, yes, my Scoundrel is going to take 1 damage. I'm sorry, it's going to happen. We're just going to do it. 1 damage is okay. But let's attack 3 against him. Plus a 2. Yes, we got him. And I will take that 1 damage. But the extra damage here did kill that guy. So that was a good move. Like I said, we did take 1 damage from our scoundrel, but I think that was still totally worth it. So, I don't want to move in range of the archer. 1, 2, 3, so I can move to here and still not take damage from the ranger. Perfect. So we'll skip the rest of that movement, end the turn, and there we go. All right. Now the following turn here. So I already used my double attack with her, so let's do Cragheart first. I want to do something that's going to hit everybody. Now, one nice thing with the Bone Ranger that I will point out is they only have a base hit points of 3. So they are weaker than most of the other archers in the intro part of the game. Although I believe when you level them up, they might start getting some shields. Because I think in my other game where I have higher level characters, I think he had a shield or started getting shields at like level 3 or 4, I think. So let's do something. Let's do a Crater. I think Crater, I'm going to try to kill the Bone Rangers. Let's do the attack with the Crater. And let's go ahead and do the Rumbling Advance. I just want to try to get in there quick again before the Ranger goes, in hope that we can kill him off first. Now with the Scoundrel. We have a lot of movement with some of the abilities, like the Flanking Strike and Backstab, which are great in the beginning. They have move of 5, move of 5, tongue twister, move of 5 and move of 6. So we're going to try to move in range of one of the enemies to attack them. So let's use the Flanking Strike. And now we need a good attack. We need a good top option for attack, right? So let's see what we can do here. Could do single out. That only gets a bonus if they're next to one of my guys, which probably won't happen. But you know what? I have a plan. Let's do single out just to see if we can make that work. Or I could do Venom Shiv instead. You know what? I changed my mind. Yeah, I know. I change my mind all the time. Sorry, Twitch. All right, we're going to do Flanking Strike and Venom Shiv. I'll poison the enemy that way. If I don't kill him, at least he should still take some damage. Extra damage. So let's end that turn. And let's see what they're going to do now. Bone Ranger, moving a 2, attacking a 2, Ranger 3. That's not terrible. Living Bones is going to move a 2, attack 1, but target 2. So Living Bones is actually least enemy I'm worried about right now. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, I do have move of 5. I could go to open the door. I don't really want the extra enemies, so I think I'm going to instead try to kill off the Bone Ranger with the Scoundrel. So we're going to move right next to the Bone Ranger. I'm going to attack a 3 with a poison. The Bone Ranger confirmed the target, and +1, he's dead. Yes. All right. Again, one thing I still like if they could do, instead of just putting the modifier turn on a little tiny bar above the enemy, I mean, do a pop-up, you know? It would be great. Have the card draw on your screen and say, like, -1 or +1 or something. I think that'd be awesome. But, you know, give people the ability to turn off. Maybe some people wouldn't like that. I would like that. Others who don't, option turn it off. Don't do the, like, modifier animation or something. But I think that would look really cool in the game. All right. Don't need to do the remote spider. For anybody just joining in, thanks for joining on Twitch. We're doing a gameplay of some of the early access gameplay of Gloomhaven off Steam. So, for those who like the board game, I will say it plays almost exactly like the board game. The only thing right now available is the adventure mode, which is like a roguelike game. You play little mini campaigns. There's no campaign yet or multiplayer, but that will be coming in 2020. Hope to play more of this if people like it. Just let me know. Feel free. All right. So now let's see what we can do here. I'm going to attack the Living Bones. I'm in range of him now, so let's attack him. Oh, wait. I almost made a mistake. Well, not really a mistake. I'm not going to push him, so let's leave that alone for right now. I could have added my Earth over here that I made last turn and actually do a push, but I don't really want to because if I don't kill him and he's 1 hit point away, I can move with this and kill him. So let's do that instead. So we're going to do attack of 3, range of 3. Oh, look at that, -1. Not nearly enough damage to be able to kill him, but, you know, I'm okay moving. I'll take 1 hit point of damage at least, so I'm okay. Let's do an extra damage to him. We're going to move up there and smash the ground. 1 extra damage. All right. End his turn. Now the skeleton is going to attack me. Oh, look at that. He drew a -1. No damage. Perfect, perfect. All right, end the round. Now we have some choices. Let me go do Scoundrel first. I think I want to do a backstab just to get that extra movement. I do want to have the extra movement right now. And now let's do single out. I'm probably going to open up the door. And then I want to kind of go inside and see what's in there. And then decide if I need to back out or rush in to attack. So that'll give me lots of extra movement. I'm hoping it'll work out. So let us see what happens. Then we will do an attack to try to finish off the skeleton. We'll do something simple, though. Nothing really crazy. I don't want to burn any cards. That would just be a waste right now. So I'll tell you what. We'll just do Crushing Grasp. And I'll use the backup ammunition for movement right now. Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. All right. End the turn and continue on. So the skeleton got moved 2, attack of 1, target 2. Same thing I got last time. So we shouldn't have too much trouble with him, but because I'm up with the Scoundrel first, let's see what bad stuff we got in this room. And it's a whole lot of bad. Oh, and that was a bad draw. I'll explain why. Okay, so open up the new room. There are lots of enemies in this room. I'm actually going to use this move ability up here with the W to move up a little bit. So we have 2 Bone Rangers. They're going to move 2, attack 2, range 3. Right there and right there. We also, unfortunately, though, have 3 cultists. And they're all summoning living bones. So that's going to give me... Oh, I missed the archer over there. That's going to give me 3 extra enemies to fight. However, I do not see any other doors in this room. So this is the last room. I got to kill all the enemies in here and whatever gets spawned. The problem is I kind of need to get in there and attack the cultist. Though if I do, I'm going to get bombarded like crazy by these archers. Let's see, archers have what? Movement of 2? Range of 3? Yeah, I mean, like, if I move over here, he's going to attack me. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. He won't be able to reach me, I don't think, unless he goes through a trap. Yeah, if he can go through the trap possibly and get to me. Alright, so I couldn't move here, and that should only mean 1 attack, but then the following turn, I'm going to be surrounded by guys. But I really want to try to get rid of at least 1 cultist. That way I'll only summon 2 living bones, not 3. Alright, we're going to go for it. This could be a mistake. But let's give it a shot. Alright, we're going to skip the rest of the movement there. How to use my eagle eye goggles, that's... Do I use the remote spider? I think I'm going to save that. If we get a lot of living bones, maybe I can kill them off. I'm really, really hoping for a +1 here. If I don't get one, I'm going to be kind of screwed. I'm kind of screwed. Alright. Well. Okay, 1 damage, not bad. I'll take that. Let's see what that one's going to do. Move closer. Okay, that one did not get to range, so... This is where it kind of gets bad now. See, here's where I have choices. I can go ahead and try to kill him off, try to move him in, see if I can make something work. It's going to be kind of tricky, though, because I'm about to have 3 more living bones in there. That's going to be 9 enemies in that other room. Wow. But I really don't need him around. I can't reach anybody else because I'm not in range, so I guess best thing to do is just kill him off and move closer. We got a -1, but that's okay. It still does 2 damage. He is still dead, so we are in good shape, hopefully. Except for the massive amounts of enemies in the next room. Alright. Pardon me while I take another sip here. I'm starting to get a little bit scratchy throat, but hopefully we can make it through and finish the rest of this stream. If I'm talking too much, just yell at me. I don't care. You should be happy my daughter's not here right now. She's more talkative than I am, so... She'd be talking your ear off left and right about all kinds of stuff. She will be appearing in some of the other streams. If you haven't watched our other stream, we did a unboxing of Gloomhaven. Actually, my second copy, I had a spare, the 2nd edition. And she's on that one. Feel free to watch that. I want to do more streams with that as well, and probably do some board game gameplay. For those of you who haven't seen the board game at all, that was more of an intro. that I'm trying to do, an intro series, but I want to do a bunch of other games like Resident Evil 2 board game I have upstairs. Madara is pretty big right now as well. I want to do some streams of that. And I don't know. I got lots of other board games. I do a lot of Kickstarter stuff, so I got lots of games from that. So hopefully we'll get at least one of those a week. And I hope to do the streaming online more often for streaming games. I just got a game capture card for my PS4, so I'm hoping to do some PS4 gaming as well soon. So let's end that round, and here comes the badness. Let's see what happens. So we have so many. I mean, look at all this. So many enemies. Oh, that would be a perfect area right here to try to do like a big AoE attack. What sucks is it's only 1 damage right now. Although I do have Earth in the air, so that actually would be 1 extra damage. So maybe that'd be good, but how close would I have to get? So that's a range of 2. I mean, I'd have to get to right here. What is that? 3? 1, 2, 3? I'll probably have to use the rock tunnel to get there. But I'm going to be taking tons and tons of damage. Well, you know what? Let's make it interesting. Let's go and see. This is either another good or bad option. Let's see what happens. Now for... Of course, I can always back out. You know, if things don't look like they're going well, I could always retreat a little bit and see what happens. But I think for this one, just because I know it's going to be bad stuff coming up, I think the best thing to do is Smoke Bomb and Thief Snack. I want to go invisible. Unfortunately, that means the Crack Heart's going to be taking like all the damage, but too bad, so sad. Let's see what happens. All right. Cultist at 39, move 1, attack. Oh, healing, really? He just took 2 damage, and now he's going to get more healing. Darn it. That is not useful. Okay, Bone Ranger, move 1, attack of 3, range of 3. That's going to hurt. Living Bones, move to attack of 1, but target one enemy with all attacks, which means they're going to get 2 attacks per character they're next to. Oof, this is going to be a little rough, but let's play it through and see what happens. All right. First up is the Scoundrel. We're going to attack of 3 since I'm right next to an enemy. Right here. Come on, double damage, double damage. Ah, we drew a +1. We got 4 damage. It's almost dead, but not almost dead enough. That sucked. Okay. Do I want to go invisible? I think this is a good time to go invisible, but yeah. If I can get a good next attack in, maybe we can get some good set of stuff going on here. Let's confirm that. End the turn. Alright, Cultist move, gets 1 hit point back. Oh, see, now they moved down my range of my big AoE I wanted to do. Figures. That one's not going to move, that's fine. Alright, so now, here's the deciding point here. Should we go for it or should we back up? I could do either. Because, I mean, I do have the extra attack here, so I'll be doing 2 damage to everything in here. If we can get some good draws, I might be able to kill a couple of these guys off. Oh, it's always such a pain picking out how to do stuff, huh? Let's see, though. What would be the best group to hit? I really want to get rid of some of these cultists. But I just know the archer is going to light me up, though. Yeah, it might be best to back out right now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to attack. See how many guys we can hit here. We can hit... I can't hit there without moving. So the best I can do then is... Looks like right here I can hit 3 enemies. Yeah, let's try that. We're going to confirm and we're going to try to hit those 3 enemies right there. We got a null here, but we did kill 1 off. That's good. So we got rid of 1 archer. Did some damage to that one. He's muddled. He's muddled. Now let's use the move. I'm going to kind of run away. But you know what? Let's go get some gold. Can't play the game without getting some money, right? be a little greedy. I might still be able to get attacked, but they'll all kind of move away from the scoundrels, so that might help as well for setting up new attacks. Yep, I thought I might get attacked by that one. Yeah, for those who play the board game, you know as well as I do, the line of sight's kind of weird, because like you wouldn't think that guy would have a line of sight to my character here, but it's based on the edge of the tile, so like area right here. If it has line of sight through a doorway to the edge of tile I'm standing on, which is right here, which it does, unfortunately you can kind of, you know, bend the arrow around the corner to attack, so we've got some bending bullet phenomenon going on here, but if that's the worst that happens, that's not too bad. I think he's the only one who's going to be able to reach me, so that's a good thing. Of course, now all of them are hitting there away from my scoundrel, so I might be able to use the scoundrel now to kind of go around the back and get some backstabbing in. Alright, so let's end the round and continue on. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 enemies left. Ugh. Lots of cards at least, so I'm not worried about cards running out of cards at this point. Alright, so we have Earth and Clod. Let's do that with... I'm not going to use the Avalanche to get in there. That'd be a waste of a card right there. We'll do Opposing Strike instead. I'm going to do 38 just because it's the fastest I have to see if we can get in there in time. Don't know if we're going to make it, but we're going to try. So I'm out of cards. I could long rest. I could get 2 points back. You know, that would also give me the Eagle Eye Goggles. However, my Invisible will go away, and I will get my extra 2 damage with Invisible. That's kind of a bummer, because doing double damage on the throwing knives, which is kind of what I want to do. So let's not do that. We're going to do a short rest. Single out. That's fine. We'll burn that. I don't want to take the extra hit point of damage. And by the way, for anybody in chat, if you see anything you have questions about or don't really understand the gameplay, feel free to ask. I have played Gloomhaven board game way, way too much. And since this is almost identical, it is. I love it. It's quite fun. It is just hard, though. It's definitely not an easy game, and you still need to set aside a good amount of time to play. But other than that, very, very solid game. All right, so I'm going to do throwing knives just because if I come out of invisible, I'll be able to get some good hits in, I hope. Also, because I know that... Nope. I already screwed this up. Hold on. Because I know that the Cultist Summon on a 63, I actually want to go slow on purpose because I'm hoping most of them will go before I become visible again. So I'm going to use Venom Shiv at a slower initiative, and I'm going to use Throwing Knives. So hopefully whatever I do attack, I should at least get double damage on. Provided I don't draw a null. I think I already drew like 3 nulls this scenario so far. So let's end that selection. Okay, so we have some interesting things here going on. We have a cultist that's going to move 1, attack of 0, on death attack of 3, everybody around them. The living bones are going to be shielding and healing, so they're not going to take, not do any attacks. And the Bone Rager is only going to attack, but anybody next to the target of the attack will suffer 1 damage. But they're going at 57, so... Interesting attacks. Okay, so let's see what we can work out here. So the cultist is going to move. That cultist is going to move. Boy, I'd really love to be able to kill this one right now, because then everything around him would take 3 damage. I think we're going to try that with the scoundrel one and get it back available here. All right, all the bones shielded. He's going to heal 2. That's annoying, not too dangerous, but it is frustrating. All right, let's see here. That Bone Ranger is going to hit me if I stay here. It's not going to move. Oh, sorry for everyone if the camera's angle is jumping around. I'm playing with my laptop in my lap, literally, in my nice comfy layback chair, so apologize for any weird movements you might see. And behind me, I haven't gotten a green screen yet, but behind me is my wall of DVDs and Japanese manga, so... So here's what we're going to try. I could do the attack of 2, range of 5. I could actually kill the Bone Ranger off, then he couldn't reach me and attack me. That could be good. Yeah, I think... Let's do that. Okay. So we're going to attack him, confirm that. Don't draw null, don't draw null. Didn't draw null. Perfect. I guess a -2. -2 would also have been bad. But anything else would have been fine. Okay, so we killed him. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the Retaliate down here. Because I have a feeling I'm just going to have to go in and maybe we can get some Retaliates to kill him off. The rest of these guys. So let's do this. Let's confirm that. We won't move in. We'll stay here for now. Alright, now the Bone Ranger will go. I think he's just going to move a little forward, though, like 1 square. Oh, no, he didn't even move. Okay. Hey, that works for me. I guess nobody was in line of sight. Oh, no, he only had attack of 1, not a move. Sorry. Only had attack of 1. Alright, so... last time, for those who note, last time the death attack of the cultist when I was playing didn't work properly. There was a patch, so we'll see if it works now. I don't know if it will, but might as well try it out. So let's move a little bit up. I mean, I kind of like to move here to get the chest, but I'm worried I'll be in range of too much stuff. So let's move here. Skip the movement, and then we're going to attack a 2. Let's hit the cultist. So if I do manage to kill the cultist, here's what will happen. If the ×2 thing's working, or not the ×2, the explosion thing's working, he will kill this one for doing 3 damage, and this one, but nothing else. So, honestly, the best bet here then would probably be to attack this guy, and hope that the explosion actually works properly. If the explosion doesn't work properly, I might be screwed for next round, but let's see what happens. It does not look like the explosion worked again. So, for those who take note, the explosions for the cultists dying are not quite working yet. So don't bank on those if you're expecting to be able to kill stuff. You've seen it here in chat, or in stream. Alright, so let's end that round. That puts me in a little precarious situation. We're going to need a short rest because I'm going to have to move in now with cards. Let's burn that card. I don't need it. But we need to do something else big. So let's... I think I'm going to have to do a massive boulder. And let's do this one just so we get some movement in. This is going to get tricky now. Let's do... Alright, I'll tell you what. We're going to do the flanking strike. Actually, wait, no. Let's change that. Let's do Thief Snack and Quick Hands and go at 23. I think that'll be fast enough. I hope it will be fast enough. Alright, so let's see what's happening. So, well, those are interesting pulls. At least he's not summoning. I was really worried he was going to be summoning, but it looks like we're safe on that. So we have the move 3, attack of 0, but targeting 2 with living bones. I'm not too worried about the living bones, though. Attack of 0 should do nothing, hopefully. I mean, unless they draw a +1 or a +2. Even a ×2 won't do anything, so I'm okay with that. Bone Ranger's not too good, though. He's going to move 2, attack of 3, range of 2. And the cultist to move 2, attack of 1. So I'll definitely need to try to kill off the Bone Ranger, hopefully. Or the cultist, so let's see what happens. You know what? Because of the Retaliate, I think I'm actually going to move right up in the middle of all these guys. And I was going to do the Massive Boulder, but I think I'd rather do this attack now, and that way I can also get the chest. So we're going to move up there, and now we're going to do this attack. I don't have any Earth in the air. If I did, I could actually target enemies 2 squares away. The Unstable Upheaval is a really nice attack for the Cragheart. If you have some Earth in the air, because hitting 2 squares away, I could have lined up earlier properly. I could have gotten a ton of enemies with that. It would have been awesome. Alright, what did we get here? Okay, good. We killed one. This guy's down to 1 hit point. So close. So close. Okay. Okay, so we got 10 gold out of that chest. No item. I still wish I get more items at the beginning. Getting gold is okay, but I don't know. kind of prefer getting items. So, we're going to be a little risky here. I'm going to move up here in between these two guys. And what I want to do is actually use my attack of 2 and attack the cultist, I think. Oh, good. Got +2. He's dead. Perfect. Now we're going to use the bottom of this card because I chose a card. Now, most of the time on cards, the bottom parts of the card are move cards. But occasionally, with certain classes, Rogue included, you can get attacks on the bottom. I believe the Brute may have an attack on the bottom as well. At least one. So this can be great, especially if you have a move on the bottom as well, or the top as well, because normally the top is all for attacking, right? But since the Scoundrel has a move to attack of 2, it's great. I can move, attack, and then do another bottom attack to get kind of extra damage in. So we're going to attack the Bone Ranger, and we got it with a +1. Perfect. Look at that. 2 enemies left. Oh no, he drew a +1. I took 1 whole damage. Yeah, we can take that. Alright, he's done. The other one, oh, look at that. A -1, so he did no damage. You know what? The -1 should totally heal me, right? I mean, come on. He did 0. He was attacking for 0, did a -1. I should totally get health back. Too bad the game doesn't work like that. Alright, so we actually got pretty lucky on this. We're almost out. So what I want to do now is try to use up some abilities that I'll burn. Mainly just so I can get some extra experience before the game ends. So let's see what we can do. We can do that avalanche attack. We'll get 1 HP or 1 XP. Do we have anything on top that will get that? No, I'm not adjacent to an obstacle, so that's useless. There, we'll just do Earth and Claw just to throw something on there. And for this one, let's do... Oh, you know what? Backstab's totally going to wreck this guy's face. So let's go wreck his face. Move to attack 1. Target 1 enemy with all attacks. Moving at 74. Or initiative is 74. We got this in the bag, hopefully. So here's what we're going to do. Now, for those of you who may not know the Scoundrel and what they do, let's move to there. Skip the rest of that movement. Let's poison him. There's one really cool card you get called Backstab. It's an attack base of 3. However, it will add +2 attack and gain experience when the target is adjacent to any of your allies. This one is. Also, it will add 2 attack and gain experience when the target is adjacent to none of its allies. So that's perfect. This would actually, if I don't draw null, I've had this happen before, this would actually do 8 total damage right now to this enemy. Praying for no null. -1. That's fine. Still dead. Alright. We're going to end that turn. And because there are no enemies left, we've actually finished the mission. However, since the Crag Heart is not gone yet, I still get to do the rest of his turn before the game actually ends. So what we're going to do is, we're just going to do this attack, skip the attack because we can't do it. Hopefully that still gives us an experience. It may not, because we didn't actually do an action. But then, just to get money, because we're greedy and we're all money grubbers, we want some extra coin. That'll give us 2 extra coin for picking up. Alright. Also, for summoned creatures, there were those skeletons that were summoned earlier. Because they were summoned from the cultist, they actually do not get to drop coins. So there were only 2 coins here from the Bone Ranger I killed here. If you were wondering why you didn't see 4 coins instead, that's because the summons do not drop coins. So we're going to end that turn. So as you can see, we got 8 total gold during that mission. We killed 13 total enemies. Finished, and nobody died. Yes! Alright. So we finished the first level. Whew, that took a little while. Of the first part of the adventure mode. Now, I have not finished one of these battles yet to get to the boss. I do not know how far it is, so I'm not sure the exact length of time. I can tell you I've made 2 of my other characters level 4. I have a Spellweaver and a Scoundrel that are both level 4 now, and I haven't gotten anywhere near the boss, so it looks like you can play for quite a while before you actually have to fight the Bandit Leader boss right now, who appears to be the only boss, by the way, the Bandit Leader, who's one of the first bosses you fight in the board game. So we did finish this mission. We got a little bit of gold and experience. We're also getting the Wand of Brilliance, which is during your turn, create light, which is pretty much completely useless for my group right now. But I was actually going for the winged shoes. So during your movement, add jump to the entire movement. Now, for those who didn't see the stream earlier, I will point out again, this up here in the top right corner is durability. They decided to add durability into items in the adventure mode. So every set of scenarios I play, which meant the 2 scenarios that I just played, every item that has durability will go down by 1, even if you don't use them. So keep that in mind. If you are playing the game and certain items keep disappearing on you, that would be why. So make sure also after you finish a mission that you have everything equipped, or at least all your slots are as filled as they can be. Because you don't want to waste free items, right? You might as well try to use them if you can. So as you can see, I had a remote spider that I got in the second mission. Actually, before the second mission, in that extra mode where we robbed the poor guy who was hanging by his feet. We got a remote spider. It has now gone down by 1 durability. I think it was 3 initially, so now it's down to 2. Alright. This is the Burn Tavern. There's absolutely nothing here to shop at or look at, as far as I can tell. So nothing of excitement. We're going to leave the Burn Tavern, and let's zoom out a little bit. I will show you the map. If I can show the map. It's interesting. That one's all lit up. I don't know why that's lit up. Oh, that's the Bandit Commander. Yeah, there we go. So this is actually where the Bandit Commander is. But as you can see, none of my missions are currently going to the Bandit Commander. So I don't want to fight him yet. So normally what I would do at this point is I would choose another 1 to 3 missions. Again, I generally do it based on what items they have, not necessarily the difficulty. But I have played one of each of these at least. The hard, by the way, was extremely difficult because all the enemy types are basically boosted up in stats. So it makes that very, very hard to play. So I would not do that unless you're very experienced with the game or you just really, really have to have that item. If you do die in the game, from what I've seen, you kind of go back to like your last town adventure. So if I did start that adventure and then died, I should come back to the Buried Tavern again. Well, that's interesting. I have not seen one here. Oh, no, there we go. For some reason the items didn't pop in. So we're probably going to end the stream here for today. If I have time later, I might be able to stream some more, or maybe I'll try to hook up the PS4 streaming and get some of that stuff done. Thanks for joining. I hope to do quite a few more of these kind of streams as we go. Feel free. I do have a Discord I'm going to be setting up. Actually, it's set up. I'll post it in the stream a little bit later when I get a chance to. I don't quite have everything working yet. Sorry, I just set this up on like Thursday of last week was our first stream that we set up. But we are based in Central Virginia. Again, I'm Bobby. Thanks for joining Day After Day Gaming, and I hope to see you all again soon.